This book is called Knights of the Pufflings. It's a nonfiction book. That's a documentary of sorts, and it was done by Bruce McMillan. Knights of the Pufflings was written and photo illustrated by Bruce McMillan. That means he took the photographs that you see in the book. You can also see that he has done many other books, and if you find you enjoy this kind of books, here's just a few of his other books that you can look for. The story takes place in Heimaey, Iceland. This part of the island, the southwest part of Iceland, just north of Reykjavik, that's where the story takes place. Hadla searches the sky every day. As she watches from high on a cliff overlooking the sea, she spots her first puffin of the season. She whispers to herself, Lunda, which means puffin in the Icelandic language. Soon the sky is speckled with them, puffins everywhere. Millions of these birds are returning from their winter at sea. They are coming back to Heimaey Island and the nearby uninhabited islands to lay eggs and raise puffin chicks. It's the only time they come ashore. While Hadla and her friends are at school in the village beneath the cliffs, the puffins continue to land. These clowns of the sea return to the same burrows year after year. Once back, they busy themselves getting their underground nests ready. Hadla and all the children of Heimaey can only wait and dream of the Knights of the Pufflings yet to come. On the weekends, Hadla and her friends climb over the cliffs to watch the birds. They see puffin pairs tap their beaks together. Each pair they see will soon tend an egg. Deep inside the cliffs, that egg will hatch a chick. That chick will grow into a young puffling. That puffling will take its first flight. The Knights of the Pufflings will come. In the summer, while Hadla splashes in the cold ocean water, the puffins also splash. The sea below the cliffs is dotted with puffins bobbing on the waves. Like Hadla, many puffins that ride the waves close to shore are young. The older birds usually fly further out to sea where the fishing is better. The grown-up puffins have to catch lots of fish because now that it's summer, they are feeding more than just themselves. Hadla's friend, Arnar Ingi, spies a puffin overhead. Fisk, he whispers as he gazes at the returning puffin's bill full of fish. The puffin eggs have hatched, and the parents are bringing home fish to feed their chicks. The Knights of the Pufflings are still long weeks away. But Arnar Ingi thinks about getting some cardboard boxes ready. Hadla and her friends never see the chicks. Only the chicks' parents see them. The baby puffins never come out. They stay safely hidden in the long, dark tunnels of their burrows. But Hadla and her friends hear them calling out for food. Beep, 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 beep. The growing chicks are hungry. Their parents have to feed them, sometimes 10 times a day, and carry many fish in their bills. All summer long, the adult puffins fish and tend to their feathers. By August, flowering baldersboro blanket the burrows. With the baldersboro in full bloom, Hadla knows that the wait is over. The hidden chicks have grown into young pufflings. The pufflings are ready to fly and will at last venture out into the night. Now it's time. It's time for Hadla and her friends to get out their boxes and flashlights for the Night of the Pufflings. Starting tonight and for the next 2 weeks, the Pufflings will be leaving for their winter at sea. Hadala and her friends will spend each night searching for stranded pufflings that don't make it to the water. But the village cats and dogs will be searching too. It will be a race to see who finds the stray pufflings first. By 10 o'clock, the streets of Heimaey are alive with roaming children. In the darkness of night, the pufflings leave their burrows for their first flight. It's a short, wing-flapping trip from the high cliffs. Most of the birds splash land safely in the sea below. But some get confused by the village lights. Perhaps they think the lights are moonbeams reflecting on the water. Hundreds of the pufflings crash land in the village every night. Unable to take off from flat ground, they run around and try to hide. Dangers await. Even if the cats and dogs don't get them, the pufflings might get run over by cars or trucks. Hadala and her friends race to the rescue. Armed with their flashlights, they wander through the village. They search dark places. Hadala yells out, "Puffling," in Icelandic. "Lundi, Bisha." She has spotted one. When the puffling runs down the street, she races after it, grabs it, and nestles it in her arms. Arnar Ingi catches one too. No sooner are the pufflings safe in the cardboard boxes than more of them land nearby. "Lundi, Bisha, Lundi, Bisha." For 2 weeks, all the children of Heimaey sleep late in the day so they can stay out at night. They rescue thousands of pufflings. There are pufflings everywhere, and helping hands too, even though the pufflings instinctively nip at helping fingers. Every night, Hadala and her friends take the rescued pufflings home. The next day, they send their guests on their way. Hadala meets her friends, and with the boxes full of pufflings, they hike down to the beach. It's time to set the pufflings free. Hadala releases one first. She holds it up so that it will get used to flapping its wings. Then, with the puffling held snugly in her hands, she counts, "Ein, zwei, drei," as she swings the puffling 3 times between her legs. The last swing is the highest, launching the bird up in the air and out over the water beyond the surf. It's only the second time this puffling has flown, so it flutters just a short distance before safely splash landing. Day after day, Hadala's pufflings paddle away until the nights of the pufflings are over for the year. As she watches the last of the pufflings and adult puffins leave for their winter at sea, Hadala bids them farewell until next spring. She wishes them a safe journey as she calls out, "Goodbye, goodbye," in Icelandic. Bless, bless. Bruce McMillan includes more information here. An older brother or sister or grown-up can read to you about the puffins from Newfoundland and the ones in Ireland and the Faroe Islands. Puffins live both in the North Atlantic, and they have some cousins that live in the North Pacific. They're fascinating birds. They're colorful and beautiful. And now you know a little bit about how the children of Iceland help take care of some of those puffins. This beautiful, informative book has been Nights of the Pufflings. It was written by and photo illustrated by Bruce McMillan.